Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Voidwall Studios for a special little random episode. We are going to be talking about magazines today. My brother-in-law Sam is here to help me, as we wanted to talk about, well, the magazines that GW through Hitachi magazine, if I remember correctly. But yeah, we've each got our own experiences, and we thought we'd use this as a way to talk to people about different ways of getting into the hobby. So yeah, my brother-in-law Sam, say hello.
Hello.
Indeed. You will know him as the incredibly unkillable individual against the Blue Dragon.
I think in any campaign I'm in, I manage to become unkillable just by sheer luck.
That there does seem to be some luck on your side when it comes to not being killed. It is true.
I mean, even when I was killing a god, I didn't really suffer any wounds.
This is true. Right. So, both me and you have collected the first magazine that came out, the Conquest magazine, where you got you had Primaris Space Marines, you got Nurgle Space Marines, and you got some terrain. In your opinion, Sam, what did you think about this magazine?
It was alright.
Did you enjoy the obviously it was a way cheaper way to collect these particular armies, but did you like any of the magazine itself, the lore, the artwork? Did you enjoy any of that?
It was quite nice, actually. Nice read. Somewhere up there.
Would you say this was a good one for people, obviously it's not on sale anymore. You could still buy it directly from the website, I believe. Or at the very least there's means and possibilities of getting it from eBay and whatnot. But did you feel like it was worth the money? Because they typically were like $6.99 each. That's $7.99. That's in pounds for anyone who's asking.
Yeah, it was alright. Good way to the troop numbers.
Absolutely, because you collected both armies, didn't you? So it was kind of perfect for you.
Yeah, I've got them in a box.
Whilst I personally didn't collect Nurgle, I did collect the Primaris Space Marines, and I did keep some of the Nurgle forces, because the Chaos Spawn, the Rhino, the Cultists, they could all be used for my Emperor's Children when I finally get round to making them. And the terrain is awesome. I think there was a ridiculous amount of money saved there. But GW right now have only got two magazines that are Warhammer related, the Mortal Realms and now the Imperium. What did you feel about the Mortal Realms? Did you enjoy collecting that one?
Yeah, I'm still collecting it. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's a nice little read. The models are interesting. The only problem is you don't get another Lord Standard Bearer. You don't get a Lord Standard Bearer. So
yeah. You want another one. So the Lord Relictor isn't good enough. You want a different one.
Yeah, I want the Wenge of the Meteoric Standard, Michael.
Of course you do.
Yeah, only because it's hilarious to see you and Tanya's reaction.
It's so broken, it's complete bullshit. I tell you, it's bullshit.
It can only do it once, and against an army of a small amount of numbers like orcs, it's basically pointless. Because it couldn't even kill a single model. They've got 4 wounds each. It's only good against you and Tanya because you use models with low wounds.
I think the only army that I have that have more than 1 wound on average is my Fire Slayers. Like, my weakest Fire Slayer has 2 wounds, so...
That's a decent number of prosecutors.
Yeah, that's true.
And prosecutors are so much fun.
Would you say that the armies feature the Nighthaunt and the Stormcast? Would you say these are good armies for anyone getting into the hobby?
Stormcast, yes. Nighthaunt, maybe?
Because the Nighthaunt, it's a bit more of a horde army, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
You kind of win by overwhelming your foe, keeping them locked in combat, and just chucking spells left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
It's that traditional kind of attrition warfare. I mean...
Well, I think Death Rat will do it better, because they have an ability, don't use spells to resurrect, if I remember correctly.
Well, that's something that's going to be interesting, because there's the new vampire book that's come out. will be coming out. So they've got new skeletons and zombies, so it'd be interesting to see if the Death Rattle spells carry over.
Because I know Death Rattle King doesn't have a Tomb King even, doesn't have any spells, it just has the ability to resurrect so many men.
Yeah, the Tomb Kings were, at least for Age of Sigmar, the Tomb Kings are a bit of an anomaly. But in fantasy, at least, they worked differently from the vampire counts in that they just could automatically resurrect a certain amount, whereas when you played as vampire counts, you could resurrect loads or almost none. It was a more randomized spell as opposed to the Tomb Kings, which were more reliable.
And I'm fairly sure Bone Reapers, even though I know they weren't out when the magazine first got released, they have ways of healing too.
I'm going to shrug at that one because I'm pretty sure I don't know much about the Bone Reapers, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a similar mechanic, but
yeah, they can be rezzed.
Well, indeed, they're dead, and it's Nagash. They can be rezzed. But getting back slightly towards the topic,
resurrect them enough. The Gash's philosophy.
See, with the magazines, I neither had a massive interest in Stormcast or Nighthaunt, although I do plan on using them for narrative campaigns in the future, which is why I was more than happy to have the magazine. But I also really enjoyed the premium edition, so I got myself some Sylvaneth, some Flesh Eater Courts. I've got more Orcs, because, I always wanted more Orcs. Last one is Chaos, which, again, I can use them for narrative campaign, so it's cool if you go premium. I don't really remember what Conquest did for premium, but I don't think
they did one.
I'm not sure they did do different armies. I know that the Imperium one, the newest magazine, that they do have different armies if you go premium. Yeah, Tau, Tyranids, Orcs, and Chaos. Oh, Space Marines. Cool.
Yeah, apparently it's chosen to get so many else. No, I'm trying to head, but I think it's the Chaos Sorcerer, some Foot Troops, and some chosen. Don't quote me on that.
No, that's fine. But yeah, with the Imperium magazine, moving on from Mortal Realms, because again, there was terrain in Mortal Realms, which is awesome, which I'm looking forward to painting and using for games. But Imperium is actually kind of interesting because you've got more factions, even in the basic bundle. Subscription, sorry. You've got... Yeah, I won't lie. I'm not interested in collecting more Primary Space Marines. I have way too many to paint right now as it is. But the Sisters made me think about it. For an instant, the Sisters of Battle made me think about it. So I might just buy the magazine that the Sisters are in. Because...
probably around 4 issues on that.
Yeah, it probably will be. But ironically, if the magazine is at the same price, £7.99...
£8.99.
Oh, is it slightly more expensive?
Yeah. More expensive.
Okay. Well, even at £8.99, you're probably still making a saving if you wanted to collect these armies.
Yeah.
And of course, there's the Necrons, which I have some Necrons because of the Indomitus box that I still have. But again, I'm not really interested in Necrons, at least not right now. What about yourself, though? Do you particularly want to collect this magazine?
Yes.
Ah, well, what would your reasons be? Do you want... Because do you collect all of these armies now, I think about it?
Well, I don't have Mechanicum.
Oh, that's true. I have Mechanicum.
I don't have Chaos Marines, I have Rubric Marines.
You do, that's true.
That's well just a strange army I've got on the side. It's like, I'll finish it eventually, but I've got Ahriman on these little discs.
You are the true definition of a hobby butterfly, Sam. And I am one as well, so it takes one to know one.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I've got a load of different game models in my room too. So I've got stuff like Infinite, Flames of War. Hell Caesar.
I'll tell you a magazine that I really wish came back out again, and this was during my childhood, far too long ago now, but there was a Lord of the Rings magazine, which was amazing. I genuinely remember it being a awesome magazine, because it also had cool little instructions on how to build your own terrain. Because back in my day, we made terrain out of cardboard and whatever we could find around the house.
I tried to make something out of styrofoam, it didn't work.
I know, it's surprisingly tricky. But in any case, I think we can agree that if you bought any of these magazines, and if you're interested in any of the armies, or even if you're just into the lore, then these magazines are pretty good to pick up and will make you quite the saving.
Yeah, I mean, do you have a list of the savings? Because some of you have worked it out.
I believe that Bell of Lost Souls worked out the savings for each of the magazines. I remember roughly that the Conquest one saved you. The figure was in the hundreds of pounds.
Yeah.
Which is actually quite amazing. And I don't know about Mortal Realms, but I'm pretty confident it's in a similar kind of price range.
Yeah.
And I think my reasoning for why this is the case is because all the miniatures featured are either from previous starter boxes, like game starter boxes as opposed to like combat patrol stuff, or they're models that are so mass produced that they're relatively easy to stick into the magazine.
Well, like Guilliman.
Yeah. Well, Guilliman is an exception to the Imperium one, I won't lie. I was surprised to see him in there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do the leaders of the factions, why didn't you just shove in the Netball King? Sarek. You know, if you want to have a massive showdown like that, do that. If you don't include Guilliman.
It is kind of a one-sided deal once Guilliman turns up.
It's rather that or the Necrons are so badass they can just win.
I mean, enough guns can wipe out anything eventually, I guess.
I mean, especially when considered the first round Necrons we had.
Yeah, I need to have that rematch because my Black Templar rules have updated now. I am no longer one wound Space Marines.
Yeah, but the one wounds didn't help you much because the Necron blades do 2 wounds minimum.
Yeah, but it helped against the smaller arm shooting.
Yeah, the smaller arm shooting was against your leaders, and even then, but I did change the points around, so I've got to redo that army.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because it means I can only field 1 plasma lancer.
Aww. Sad times.
Yeah. Right. I can still field 2 fucking destroyer units.
Right. I think on that note, actually, I will end the video there. What would you recommend to anyone getting new into the hobby? Buy these magazines or go to a GW store?
Buy the magazines, get a feel for what sort of army you want, then get a different army of what you like. If you like Space Marines, get a Space Marine army. But if you like certain aspects of Space Marines, look into what army you want. For instance, if you like melee combat, rather go Black Templars or Blood Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Because Black Templars got rules for melee, Blood Angels got access to some of the best pistols.
It's true. The Inferno pistol is a lovely, lovely piece of equipment.
And you can give them to every single man in a death company for some reason. No, right. Firstborn death company. You can't get to Primaris death company. Only one of them can take a special weapon.
Well, have to keep the Firstborn special somehow.
Yeah. That they learn how to use special weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just my personal headcanon, but I reckon that the Primaris are just a bit more intellectually challenged. Because their primary squad can't use specialised weaponry.
Yeah.
Whereas the tactical squad can use heavy or a special. Or both if it's big enough.
See, I always thought it was the older Space Marines the Primaris are asking to use the more specialised weapons, but the older Space Marines are just going, no, you're not old enough, can't be trusted. Can't let you have this.
The Mechanicum would have just gave it to them once they went home. It's like, here's your weapon, go kill someone. Here's your weapon, go kill someone. Like, surely Gilliman said, please, prepare some special weapons for them.
Nah. Let them die in droves, just like the good old days in the Heresy.
It's only a matter of time before we see them on a basilisk again.
Oh,
The good old days.
the good old days. Chaos Space Marines with basilisks. The Iron Warriors.
No. Imperium 2, they're all on basilisks.
Just basilisks everywhere. Everywhere basilisks. Right.
You gotta keep the artillery special somehow.
It's true. Right. I think on that note, I will end the video there. Thank you very much for joining me, Sam.
Yeah.
And we might try and make some more of these about various topics that...
Well, yeah, this is the Proto Podcast.
This is indeed the Proto Podcast. So, if you like it, please leave a little comment and like down below. And I hope to hear from you all soon. Until then, take care, everyone.